Merhaba from BA. This is the Rorschach Turkey update from the 24th of December 2024. A quick summary of what's going down in Turkey. On Sunday the 22nd, a medical helicopter crashed into a hospital in the western city of Muğla shortly after takeoff, killing all 4 on board, including 2 pilots, a doctor, and a healthcare worker. Muğla's governor reported that heavy fog likely caused the crash, though an investigation is ongoing. The helicopter, operated by the health ministry, struck the hospital 4th floor, which was empty at the time, minimizing further casualties. However, it damaged the outside of the building, shattering the glass walls. The helicopter was reportedly en route to Antalya after dropping off a patient in Muğla. In more tragic news, on Thursday the 19th, journalists Nazim Dashtan and Cihan Bilgin died in an alleged Turkish drone strike in northern Syria. They were reporting near Tishrin Dam, a site of clashes between the Syrian Democratic Forces and Turkey-backed opposition groups. Many journalist associations and other organizations condemned the attack, calling it a violation of international humanitarian law. They emphasized the need to protect journalists in conflict zones and demanded accountability for the attack. Following the journalist's death, the Istanbul Bar Association shared a statement accusing Turkey of committing war crimes in Syria. On Saturday the 21st, the Istanbul chief prosecutor launched an investigation into the bar for alleged terror propaganda. The Izmir Bar Association condemned the investigation, calling it an attack on free expression. Speaking of freedom of expression, on Monday the 23rd, an Istanbul court acquitted 35 members of Çarşay, a Beşiktaş football fan group known for its activism, of charges linked to the 2013 Gezi Park protests. The case, which accused them of attempting to overthrow the government, had dragged on for 11 years. The prosecutor requested an acquittal during the final hearing, and the court unanimously cleared the defendants. Çarşay members criticized the lengthy trial, calling it baseless and politically motivated. Lawyers described the group as socially active, highlighting its contributions to health, education, and human rights causes. The case had previously resulted in acquittals in 2015, overturned in 2021, and the court later separated it from trials involving Osman Kavala, an imprisoned businessman charged with organizing the Gezi protests. The protests began in May 2013 as demonstrations against urban redevelopment but grew into nationwide anti-government unrest. In more trials, on Tuesday the 17th, an Ankara court sentenced Süleyman Gürgin, a former Republican People's Party or CHP lawmaker, to over 11 months in prison for retweeting a 2005 penguin cartoon that depicted President Erdogan as various animals. Erdogan had sued the Penguin satirical magazine, but the court dismissed the case, defending satire. In 2018, Middle Eastern Technical University students carried a banner with the same cartoon on it at their graduation, and the authorities charged them with insulting the president, but the court later acquitted them. The case against Gürgin began back then after Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the former CHP leader, shared the cartoon on Twitter, criticizing the arrest and defending free expression. 72 lawmakers retweeted the post, faced investigations, but the court acquitted most of them. Gürgin called the case a political move to intimidate opposition politicians and silence dissent. In other news, on Thursday the 19th, The Confederation of Turkish Trade Unions president representing workers in the 2025 minimum wage talks demanded a 74% increase, setting the minimum at over 29,000 liras, which is 842 US dollars, to account for 45% inflation and a welfare share. The last hike in January 2024 raised wages by 49% to 17,000 liras, which is around 480 US dollars. Rumors suggest the government may raise the new increase on expected inflation, reportedly 47%. However, this amount was called into question as the government might be downplaying the inflation rate. Independent research estimated inflation at 87%, highlighting the growing strain on workers amid rising living costs. On a related note, experts predicted a rise in rental prices after increases in minimum wages and pensions. Property owners reportedly withdrew listings to relist at higher prices after the new wage announcement. In Istanbul, a real estate agent shared plans to relist a one-bedroom apartment for 26,000 liras, which is over 730 US dollars, up from 17,000, which is over $480 to current minimum wage. The agent explained that rent and sale prices often spike after wage hikes. Even though the ministry monitors price changes in existing listings, it struggles to track withdrawn and relisted properties, allowing landlords to raise prices unchecked. Unfortunately, we've got more sad news as on Friday the 20th, a car drove into a Christmas market crowd in Magdeburg, Germany, killing 5 and injuring over 200, including 2 Turkish citizens. Authorities arrested a 50-year-old Saudi doctor, a long-time resident of Germany, whose social media posts reportedly supported far-right groups like Alternative for Germany and criticized the country's treatment of Saudi refugees. On Saturday the 21st, President Erdogan condemned the attack, calling it heinous, and offered condolences to the victims. The Turkish Foreign Ministry confirmed that the 2 injured Turkish citizens were in stable conditions. On Monday the 23rd, Istanbul's Sarıyer district governor forcibly evicted the Istanbul municipality, controlled by the CHP, from Belgrade Forest, the city's largest green space. 200 riot officers restricted entry, removed municipality signage, and transferred the control to the General Directorate of Nature and Conservation and National Parks. The Agriculture and Forestry Ministry stated that the Directorate would now manage key areas and gate control. The Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality had contested the decision after the ministry rejected its lease renewal request despite fulfilling all agreement terms. Although a court initially favored the municipality, it reversed its own ruling on the 12th of December. Legal disputes over the 5,300-hectare forest continue in court. Since we mentioned law enforcement, on Wednesday the 18th, Selami Yildiz, the newly appointed Istanbul police chief, dismissed numerous police chiefs, including the former police chiefs on the Başakşehir district, known for assaulting women and journalists during protests. Yildiz reshuffling affected key positions overseeing public order, anti-smuggling, counter-terrorism, organized crime, and airport security at Istanbul and Sabiha Gökçen airports. Additionally, he reassigned police chiefs in Istanbul's major districts, like Beyoğlu and Şişli in the European side and Karaköy on the Anatolian side. In total, 20 of the city's 39 districts saw leadership changes. On Tuesday the 17th, Numan Kurtulmuş, the Turkish parliament speaker, scolded the audience for not applauding enough during a commemoration event in the central city of Konya focused on Rumi, the 30th century poet and philosopher, and the Mevlevi doctrine, the spiritual path founded by his followers. Kurtulmuş spoke about the historical significance of Mevlevi lodges in Aleppo and Damascus in Syria, expressing hope for a peaceful future where Mevlevi rituals would once again take place in these cities. When the applause fell short, Kurtulmuş questioned the audience's hesitation, prompting louder claps. Guess sometimes even politicians need a little applause boost to keep the momentum going. On Saturday the 21st, the Minister of Family and Social Services detailed new regulations aimed at protecting children on social media. The plan includes a 5-step framework requiring platforms to implement age verification systems, enforce digital identity tools, create usage guidelines, and face penalties for non-compliance. Parents will also take on more monitoring responsibilities. The ministry is drafting a legal framework to block harmful content, safeguard children's personal data, and prevent target advertising from shaping consumption habits. Measures to restrict social media use for children under 16 are also under consideration. And to wrap up this edition, on Tuesday the 24th, the President announced new restrictions on medical ethanol use and purchase limits in the official gazettes. Pharmacies can now buy up to 5 liters per month, while first-year healthcare providers are limited to 10 liters monthly. Second-year providers may obtain up to 1,000 liters annually, and third-year providers are allowed 2,000 liters per year. Veterinary clinics and polyclinics can purchase 5 liters monthly, and animal hospitals have a limit of 40 liters per month. These rules exclude public institutions. These policies aim to regulate the distribution of ethanol for medical purposes and prevent people from making bootleg alcohol. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. We wanted to take the time to thank everyone for tuning in, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts with us. Your support means the world, and we are so grateful to be building this incredible community together. Wishing you a joyful, warm, and wonderful holiday season. Oshka Kalin!